What is your break-even point? And why do you need to know it? Well, we kind of touched a little bit on that because you got to know at what point are you making money. You know, if you talk to anybody from the Federal Reserve, which I have done on numerous occasions at different trade shows, they will tell you that the average worker works from January 1st to May 5th just to pay taxes. That's 5 months. Think about that. So that only leaves you 7 months to make your money. And what's taking your money? All kinds of things. So if you take a look at the middle line, that's your total cost. That's your labor, your overhead, cost of goods sold, some people call it, G&A, general administrative. I mean, there's tons of terms for what it is, but really it boils down to two things. What does it cost you to actually produce the product? And what does it cost you to manage the production of the product? So you have cost of goods sold and you have overhead. That's it. Very simple financial breakdown. Now, you can get carried away with those two things. If you ever looked at the chart of accounts for my business, it's 3 pages. But it's still just those two things. Anybody in here do taxes? Okay. Now, one of the biggest things that me and my accountant laugh at all the time is I'll say, where should I put this? Where should I put this? How do I, you know, is this a cost of goods sold? Is this, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, doesn't matter to me. I add them all up and subtract it from what you made, and that's what you owe tax on. Okay? Big help there, right? Big help there. So I have to talk to a banker and say, where should I put this? So there's two different types of accounting, and you need to know in business how to make those work for you. Okay, there's tax accounting, which saves you taxes at the end of the year. However, tax accounting doesn't necessarily work for the bank. Because if you're not making any money, why would they loan you money? So if you're showing a profit because you want the bank to loan you money, then Uncle Sam wants 5 months worth of piece of that. So you need to know that that's the struggle in business. Do you do tax accounting or do you bank accounting? They both basically are the same thing. It's just, are you trying to avoid taxes? And if that is your game plan, okay, which basically is my game plan because I pay a lot in taxes, then don't be mad when the bank says, we're sorry, you know, we can't approve your loan, you don't have enough collateral, you don't have this, you don't have that, and you're like, well, my business makes tons of money, blah, blah. It's just the way you chose to account. So, but anything below total cost means you're losing money. And I cannot tell you how many businesses operate today in that fashion. Anybody ever heard the buzzword lean management? Right? Lean management does not mean go broke. Do not fire all your staff to cut overhead. I cannot tell you how many people I consult with that have done that. Well, I cut out my advertising budget and I just don't understand why I'm not making any money. Well, because nobody knows you got something for sale. Okay, so lean management is the buzzword, been out for about 4 or 5 years, and a lot of people aren't getting it explained to them properly. I do a ton of seminars on lean management, okay? So anything above total cost, ta-da! So markup versus margin. Who in here has a calculator? I was going to say, everybody in here has a cell phone, you have a calculator. Michelle, can you help me out with this one? Sure. I want you to take $1. Wait a second, Rich, let me find my Yes, ma'am, I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm at 0, ready to go.
Okay, so we're going to take $1. 1.00. And I want you to add 30% to it. We want to make a 30% profit.
You needed my calculator for that?
You're going to find out why. Okay? So what's the number?
$1.30.
$1.30. Everybody pretty much got that? That is a 30% markup. That is not a 30% profit. Now I want you to take that same dollar, 1.00, and I want you to divide by 0.7. Tell me the number.
$1.42.43.
How the heck did that happen? Didn't we say at the beginning of this, numbers don't lie? 2 plus 2 is always 4? So a margin means that you want the cost, or the dollar, to be a percentage of the total price. So if I want a 30% profit, then I need that dollar, that cost, to be 70% of the total number, right? 70% is cost, 30% is profit. Sounds simple. But yet a lot of times what we do is mathematically we just add a markup. We multiply by 1.3, or we hit plus 30%, and we get that $1.30. Now that's a difference of 16 cents. Not really a lot of money, but do it if you're selling something for $10,000. Okay, does that make sense? Everybody just learned something? So a lot of business people tell me that they have a 30% profit margin until I show them this. And then they go, oh, I guess I only got a 30% markup. There is a difference. And there's what we just did. Most people would just multiply by 1.3 or add 30%. But if we divide, see how the difference now is at $1,000? It's a lot more than 16 cents, isn't it? And if you take the $1,300 and you minus the $1,428, it is a difference of $128 on a $1,000 something you're selling. How many times can you afford to do that? Right? So, this is something that I want everybody to do when they go home. And I know you're probably going to hear that all day today. Somebody's going to give you something to do when you go home. It's like going to school, you get homework. But SWOT analysis is probably the most effective thing you can do in your business. Okay? It is analyzing your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. Once you've done that for your business, then I want you to do it for your competitor's business. What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? What are their opportunities in your market? And where are they vulnerable? What's their threat? And how can you capitalize on that? So 10 minutes. Who has more than 20 employees? More than 50? More than 100? We're down to one. How many do you have? 250 people. Okay? Pay attention. Who wants to help me with the calculator this time? No volunteers?
Do it.
All right. So, ma'am, without revealing trade secrets, what would you say the average wage across your company is? $12 an hour. If we factor in the Medicare, FICA, all that other stuff, we're going to be, we'll call it 15, just so I can make the math work real easy. All right, so we have 15 bucks an hour, right? Do you believe that your employees can waste 10 minutes a day? Funny how everybody laughs at that one. How about this one? Can they waste 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes in the afternoon? Absolutely, right? How about 10 minutes an hour? Cell phones, cigarette breaks, whatever, right? 10 minutes an hour. Okay, so I want you to take that 15 and divide it by 60. Because there's 60 minutes in an hour, right? What do we got?
25 cents.
25 cents. I want you to take that times 8. 2 times 5 times 52 weeks. What do we have? $520 times 250. $130,000. How much of that would you like back? Well, just so you know, you can never get it all. Okay? But look at the processes in your company. Look at the culture in your company. What if you could just get half? Is there anything wrong with adding $65,000 to your bottom line? Not at all. That's what 10 minutes can cost you. You feeling sick?
I already knew that, but and
Right.
I've been working on improving it. So
Is there anybody in here that just had an aha moment over 10 minutes? It's amazing what that multiplication factor does. And that's how you got to look at everything in your business. Everything is about every day, every week, every year. And if we multiplied that out by how long she's been in business, somebody'd pass out.